are the Super Mario Brothers.
Why are you wearing glasses?
You know, that scene from the movie where basically Bowser tries to intimidate Luigi, where he's just like, I'm trying to find a man who has the same mustache like yours. Well, you know, just to make sense, since we're supposed to be brothers here, you know, both of us wearing glasses makes sense.
Okay, but if the glasses start to get uncomfortable, you can just take them off.
I mean, yeah, these are just my reading glasses, particularly just for, you know, reading books and stuff, or manga, light novels, who knows. So yeah, it's been a while since we've made a video together on a movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so yeah, I know it's a little bit late, but technically I did my review on Letterboxd, so did he. We are here talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie. A movie that we've been waiting for years, ever since the first one. A lot of people are waiting for a sequel to the original movie too, though.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, we're still holding on, at least. A lot of others are still holding on. Well, there is a comic book adaptation of it, though. Yeah. So yeah, now before we begin with our talking of the movie, we should talk about like our experiences, or at least our greatest memory about the character Mario and his video games.
All right, I should bring up right away that I'm just a filthy casual Mario fan. You know, I've played my share of the games, just not as much as this guy here.
I mean, he's more of a PlayStation head, and I'm more of a Nintendo head. Like that's enough said.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I've played the GBA remake of Super Mario Brothers 2 USA. I've also the GBA port of Yoshi's Island. Let's see. I played through Super Mario 64 via the All-Star Collection. Odyssey, that was one of my first Switch games. And of course Mario Kart 8, which is one of my favorite racing games of all time.
Yeah, it's like, but I actually, with the GBA, I actually had a copy of Super Mario Brothers 3, which was, I think, Super Mario Advance 4. I did not get the e-reader cards because I got the game a little bit later than that, so, you know, I was still young, but that was when the e-reader was kind of like, didn't exist anymore, you know, that kind of stuff. But, you know, that's just how it is. So I want to talk about my memories with the character. So I've told in most my social media that I am maybe not possibly, but I am one of the biggest hardcore Mario fans. I mean...
Yeah, just as I teased earlier on.
Yeah, so I've played the game since 1995, you know, even when Super Mario 64 came out. It was when...
That came out in 96.
96, yeah, but the N64 came out in 95, and then, yeah, later on Mario came out in 96 because it depends, Japan had it earlier compared to America before it came out in the US and stuff. But, okay, but to be very specific, I was 3 years old. I was 3 years old, and I played...
Yeah, so in 98.
So 1998. So I was 3 years old, and I played Super Mario 64, which technically it wasn't even my N64, it was my brother's N64. And yeah, basically sometimes I would crawl, basically, because I was 3. I put on the N64 cartridge, I played the game, and that is literally the main memory of my Mario. I didn't play any of the 2D games, the original NES ones, until the GBA remakes, and possibly not until I got myself a Nintendo, which was actually in 2010, 11, I think. Yeah. Like, I did play the original NES games on the Wii, but I want to tell you right now, every single Mario game, not just, besides much of the spin-offs, I played. Like, every time a new every time a new Nintendo console came out, I always played all the Mario games, even if some of them I didn't really like as much. Like, earliest memory was, like I said, the N64, and then I also played Mario Kart 64, which, it's so sad that those cartridges are, like, really expensive nowadays, but, like, yeah. Like a lot of old games are expensive now. I still have I have Super Mario 64, but that's a newer cartridge. I think I've had like almost 3 cartridges of Super Mario 64 because first one was sold because it was kind of like a difficult time for our lives, but so I had to sell my N64, my brother's N64, and then the second time that was sold by accident, and then I got another N64, and I'm keeping that one. I got Super Mario 64, and I'm trying to get Mario Kart or Super Smash Bros. But yeah, good luck with that one. But I did play them. I remember going to a random friend's house when I was during the beginning of middle school. I went to a random friend's house. I played Super Mario Bros. 3 on the original NES. He had like the top loader NES, and that was one of the first times I ever heard of the old Nintendo games, and I kept following in the history of Mario through most websites, and I think every time, like I said, every time a Mario game came out, when the Nintendo GameCube came out, I got Mario Kart Double Dash, I got Super Mario Sunshine, that was the first one, and
I actually remember playing Sunshine at a family friend's house in the mid-2000s, so there's that too.
Yeah, but one thing that, of course, was a little bit of a problem for me is that even when I played the games, I never finished them. That was kind of the problem with me back then, but eventually years later, I did finish Super Mario Sunshine, but guess what? I discovered that my copy, the end credit sequences was basically roughed and scratched out. So every time the end credits showed, it just kept looking fuzzy. However, my cousin did have an extra clean copy of the game, and eventually I managed to see those credits in all of its glory, but I had to throw away my old copy because, that's how it is. And then, of course, with the GBA, I mean, oh man, the GBA was awesome. I played a lot of Mario Kart games there. I played Mario Kart Super Circuit. I played Mario and Luigi Superstar Ultra, the RPG games, but I never got into
Superstar Saga.
Superstar Saga? Oh, I never got into those. I eventually played the other Mario games, mostly on the Nintendo Wii. I played like all the classic NES games. I played the, like I said, the classic NES games. I played the Super Nintendo games. That was actually the first time I played Super Mario World, and I was really trying to get to that game. But yeah, that just kind of shows what the Wii did. The Wii Virtual Console was like the way to play most of these retro games, and
yeah, if you didn't want to cough up cash for a different console.
I didn't even own retro consoles until like the 2010s. That's the thing. Like, it took a while, but I did eventually do it. I mostly played them on emulators, on third-party websites. A lot of people just usually nowadays, I feel, who's played retro games usually play it on digital stores or emulators. That's how most people play their video games, video games nowadays. And then getting to the GameCube, the Wii U. Like I said, all the things. I got Mario Kart 8 when it was on the Wii U. And I collected, and I collected everything, and then Deluxe came out. I'm just like, hours of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, you still had to collect stuff anyway, such as the carts and stuff, but at the same time, it was really, gosh damn ridiculous. So, yeah,
Let's try to keep that section brief.
Yeah, and then of course, like I said, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2, and the Wii U, the new Super Mario Brothers, the new Super Mario Brothers U, new Super Mario Brothers Wii. I played all the Mario Karts. I played all the main series games. I played some of the spin-offs, such as the Striker series and Pinball, which was gosh damn annoying. I hated Pinball so much, even though a lot of people sometimes they fight for it, saying Pinball is awesome. Everyone says Pinball is good. And of course, now we're getting to the Switch, and of course, we have the amazement that is Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, I mentioned Odyssey, one of my first Switch games.
Yeah, that is honestly, yeah. You can see, right, I don't have an original Mario yet. This is Cappy. This is what I usually show in most of my videos.
Hey, Cappy for the win.
Yeah, this is actually I got this cap out of a GameStop because it was like the very first the first time I decided to do a pre-order of Super Mario Odyssey, and I think I got the cap. I was supposed to get something else, but they decided, you know, hey, you can get the cap, you know, that's, you know, whatever. So yeah, I have been a Mario nut for years. I've loved the character. I played all of his games, and yes, that includes the original Donkey Kong 2, and Donkey Kong Jr. and Donkey Kong 3.
How about Hotel Mario?
That game must not be named.
But it spawned a lot of memes and YouTube poops.
I played a little. Okay, to be fair, I played a little bit of it, and anything about the Virtual Boy, I played Mario Clash. I actually played Mario Clash on the original Virtual Boy on a retro store. You know, it was interesting experience. Like, you know, having red eyes. Oh, jeez. But yeah, I have been a Mario fan for years. I've loved Mario in media, and yes, I've watched the Super Mario in middle school.
Oh, the Mario cartoons, right?
The Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Now, here's the thing. I watched first, there was this Mario website called Yoshi Art. I don't think that thing is up anymore, but Yoshi Art had this website where it basically had all of the episodes of the Mario cartoon, very random episodes, and that's kind of how I got to know Super Mario Brothers 3, The Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World.
Oh yeah, Super Mario World, the one that gave us Mama Luigi.
Yes. And of course, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. But the first time I heard of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show was actually completely by accident. This is when I went to a random Target. I went to a Target and I got a glimpse of the DVD collection, of the second volume of the DVD collection, and my brother told me not to pick it up because he said that that's like the worst, like, dude, like, he was just like, that's the worst TV show ever made. I'm just like, oh, come on, it's not that bad, you know, like, and then I got the copy, I watched it, and I had some corny fun with it, you know. I watched the entire volume of second volume, though I didn't own the first volume, you know, and stuff, but, you know, what can you do? I also discovered about the original Super Mario Brothers movie in middle school, too. I looked at an image online and I thought it was fake, but then my brother says, like, no, Chris, I understand you're a fan of Mario, but don't watch that. It's not worth it. I'm just like, I was like, so, but then, surprisingly enough, when Netflix was a thing, that's how I got myself a copy of the game. Basically, oh, and actually, funny enough, Netflix has completely took away their taken away their mail DVDs, you know, the mail DVD kind of thing, you know, where you sent out a movie in the mail. Rentals, basically DVD rentals. They've completely removed those just now. And funny enough, that's how I got to watch the Super Mario Brothers movie. Well, the live action Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, of course.
That's how I got to watch it, and I think the movie has a charm of its own. I enjoy it
It's really dumb.
It's a dumb movie, but it has its own capacity. I really do like the history that Gaming Historian brought over.
Oh yeah, you showed that to me.
Yeah, like about the history of the Mario movie and how it was made, and had a lot of, you know, behind the scenes issues and stuff. A lot of problems. Even Shigeru Miyamoto didn't like it. So yeah,
I think it was that movie alone that made Nintendo hesitant to create. To allow more adaptations of their works.
But they had to make some really, really dumb choices. And now, getting past the Mario memories, I think we've already covered most of... He's covered most of it, I've covered most of my Mario memories. Let's get to, like, how this movie became to be. So, to be fair, I was one of the first... I don't think you read it... Did you read the article when it first happened a couple of years ago? Or did you just heard about it, like, later on? When the first trailer happened?
The first trailer was posted like last year.
No, but like, how did you know about the Mario movie coming out? An article, or did I tell you? Like,
people talk.
So, this happened in a random, like, I think it was I don't know specifically what the news article was, but it was announced that Nintendo was going to release Nintendo Pictures and going to make a Mario movie. I was excited. I was just like, okay, they're going to make an animated Mario movie. They have to get the top dogs. I was thinking, oh man, they're going to get Disney, they're going to get DreamWorks, or they're going to get Sony, maybe Sony Animation. I'm fine with that. You know, maybe they're going to get these top dogs who like, and to be fair, this was when the first announcement, but then during when Into the Spider-Verse came out, that's when I was just like, Sony Animated Pictures, the perfect people to do a Mario Brothers movie. Let's just do this.
That would have been ironic. A Sony studio animating a Nintendo movie.
Yeah, that would. But I mean, it's an animated studio, so it would have been a whole different ball game. And to be fair, here's the thing: before they announced what the studio was, there was actually concept art that companies secretly released, saying this is the concept art if Disney was going to do this movie or DreamWorks was going to do this movie. And I'm just like, this looks awesome. Like, this looks kind of cool. Let's see. And then something happened. Universal Studios started to have something involving Nintendo World, and then something else where Shigeru Miyamoto went to Universal. There was a photo of Shigeru Miyamoto going to Universal Studios. And I'm just like, no, this isn't what I'm thinking it is. Like, and then it was officially announced Illumination was going to make the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yep, the studio behind the Despicable
This is
Me
everyone's
movies.
reaction to the movie.
I think my reaction was more like, oh.
That was like most fans' reaction. I'm just like, Illumination.
And I get it. Illumination's movies are like they're perfectly serviceable. Just nothing all that remarkable.
To be fair, when I first saw Despicable Me, I didn't think it was that bad of a movie. I thought it was okay.
No,
that was good.
No, that one is fine.
That was good.
It's been a long time since I saw
Despicable Me 2, I thought was still a fun movie. And then we got to The Secret Life of Pets.
I don't know. I mean, the rest of their library, again, perfectly serviceable. Just nothing all that remarkable.
Yeah, we got to and then Secret Life of Pets happened, and then Sing happened, and then just the Minions movie happened. Why?
I'm just like, I get it.
I'm just like, it was just mostly this studio is making movies just for little kiddies, and they all they care about is just wanting to make them laugh, put fart jokes everywhere. Like, it's just like the Minions became so popular, that's how it was. But I'm guessing Shigeru Miyamoto didn't notice that. Like, he didn't notice, I guess because he didn't know too much about American culture and like how people feel about it.
I'm certain he knows about American culture.
I don't know if he knows about the Minions and how popular they were and stuff.
Dude, everyone knows the Minions. That they're like a huge staple in pop culture these days.
I guess, yeah, more like meme culture, not really pop culture. I don't know.
No, but you see like merchandise everywhere.
Yeah, so I guess Shigeru Miyamoto saw something in it. It's just like, I'm going to hire this studio to make possibly the most iconic movie character, like video game character of all time, and make their cinematic well, whatever. So many people were waiting for a trailer, and then then we get to the first reveal of the cast of the movie. I love how in English, I remember so many people's reaction and my reaction. I always never miss a Nintendo Direct, but the first reaction when I saw that, I'm just like, Chris Pratt will be voicing Mario. I'm just like, this is a prank. It's April Fool's Day, right? Charlie Day will be voicing Luigi.
Jack Black as Bowser. Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach.
Michael Keaton as Toad. And then I'm just like, and Charles Martinet will be a surprise voice. I'm just like,
the discourse started to come in.
Everyone went bonkers. I remember so many, you can still see them nowadays, everybody was laughing so hard at the reactions.
And also, people decided to go on to make Chris Pratt memes, which I got sick of really quickly.
I mean, I don't here's the thing. I'm not sure if, okay, seeing a lot of anime nowadays, like the recent anime, it's clear that Japan knows about these actors, but I'm not sure if Shigeru Miyamoto knew. But funny enough, he handpicked these actors.
Who said that?
In an interview, he did say, and also Chris Melendez article interview saying that Shigeru Miyamoto officially handpicked these actors for this movie. And I'm just like, I'm guessing he's a Guardians of the Galaxy fan? Did he like Chris Pratt and these other things?
I don't know, but you gotta remember a lot of mainstream animation casts, big name celebrities.
I mean, yeah, I understand you have to get celebrities for animated movies nowadays, no matter how.
But let's give the Ratchet and Clank movie credit. They at least retained most of the original voice cast.
Well, that was kind of like another thing. That wasn't a giant budget movie. That was just kind of like Sony trying to do their own thing, trying to create a universe. We're never getting that Sly movie though. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Even though they released a trailer and Ian Corlett was going to be Sly, I guess they couldn't get the original voice of Sly. I don't know.
Yeah. Back to the topic.
Back to the Mars. So everyone went nuts. Everyone was waiting. Everyone was tormenting what Even I even made a joke in like the Franklin review about like what the Mario movie was gonna look like, because we had no images, we had nothing except for maybe some like some scripture, like panel concept art. There was this kind of scene where it was never in the movie, funny enough, but it was like this little scene of panels where Mario and Luigi disguise themselves as Koopa Troopas, and Bowser asked them to sing a ditty or a chord gesture jokes, and they're just like trying to sing like a song for him and stuff. But maybe that was fake, maybe that was real. Nobody knows, but yeah, that's all we got news of. It wasn't until like I think.
Let's keep the pre-release stuff brief too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you may think my copyright and shit like that. That might be.
No, because we are talking about the movie.
Yeah. So then we get to the very first trailer, which happened in I know it happened last year, but what was that? How long did we have to wait till that trailer with the Chris Pratt announcement? Like 2 years?
I don't know.
Like a couple of years. We had to wait just a couple more. Like
I don't know. Not too long, I believe.
I think a month or two, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. We had to wait months until eventually we saw the very first trailer. And even then, people were now complaining, oh, Chris Pratt just sounds like himself. He's doing this weird Brooklyn accent and stuff. I'm just like...
No, but here's the thing. The whole Brooklyn accent thing, it lines up with Mario's background in the 80s.
Yeah, basically. But here's the thing. When I saw the first trailer, I was blown away. Like, really blown away. I'm just like, oh, it looks like the world. It looks like everything that we wanted from... And also when it's playing the epic version of the Super Mario Bros. Like, dun, 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 and then like, dun, 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 dun. I'm just like, I'm so happy. So happy. I'm just like, it looks like the game, but wait. It's still Illumination. I gotta hold my tears a little bit. And then the second trailer came out, and we got even more of what we got to see. And yeah, we got to see a whole lot. This looked really good. This looked nice. It's just like we were getting ready. I'm just like, I was ready for everything.
And then let's fast forward to opening day.
Yeah. So I actually went to go see the movie with him. Yeah. We went to go see the movie. I saw it with me, my brother, because he's been the oldest Mario fan since time began. Way more than I have. I'm more of a '90s person. We're both '90s actually, people.
Well, I'm more of a 2000s kid. We're both 2000s kids. After all, the 2000s was the first full decade we lived.
Yeah, but I was born in 1995, and you were born in 1996.
Again, first full decade.
First full decade. I mean, we were in the half decade of the early. So yeah, you could argue we're kind of supposed 90s kids because we kind of do have the edge.
Let's just go with 2000s.
2000s kids, like we still played a lot of the game. Like I said,
he played a lot of the games.
So we're going into the movie theater where I had the hat, and I also had here's the thing I'm surprised you didn't notice. Like I had both the red and the green, my jackets and stuff. I actually had a Nintendo shirt, but I can't find it. I couldn't find it for the premiere. So yeah, we went in, and I went day one because I knew this shit was gonna get spoiled. And last time I got spoiled so much on Twitter before for other movies, so I'm just like, nope, seeing this day one, I'm not gonna be spoiled from anything else. They were selling the Mario tins, the question block tins. Yep. I didn't get it because, as much as I wanted it, I just couldn't get it, and stuff. So we went in. We went in. It was kind of a packed theater, right?
Yeah, somewhere along that line.
So yeah, we had to just wait toward the trailers, wait towards like how the movie was gonna be,
Okay,
and
let's get to the actual movie.
like into the actual movie. So for one thing, I want to talk about. So funny enough, the movie opens up in a way exactly like the original, like the live action movie too, because it except for the illumination. I'm surprised they made a Mario Kart reference for the illumination logo. You know, that's what it was. And then when we get to Nintendo supporting themselves, surprisingly they didn't call it Nintendo Pictures, but they just put Nintendo. It starts off with the classic Mario theme song, not the epic version. I'm just like, oh gosh.
It's starting like the live action movie.
It's starting like the live action movie, but it's a little different. They don't just play the entire theme song. They go like dun 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 dun, and then like dun 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 dun, you know, that kind of stuff. And the movie opens up like the first trailer, basically.
Oh yeah, with Bowser attacking the Ice Palace.
Like, oh yeah, I didn't even notice any changes. Surprisingly enough, it just basically was the only line that was changed was like, you know, I finally found it. Now who's gonna stop me?
Yeah, it's slightly altered in the final product.
It's like, I finally found it. Now no one can stop me. Oh yeah, and before the movie came out, the promotion was for the plumbing commercial for the Super Mario Bros. And they use the Super Mario Brothers Super Show theme song.
Yeah, and funnily enough, the lady in that commercial was the same actress who voiced Princess Toadstool in that show.
Yeah, it was actually kind of, it was like, thank you, Super Mario Bros. It seems that the only thing you could drain...
The only thing you didn't drain is my bank account. yeah, just the line delivery and the expression on her face, that got me.
Are you tired of paying for too much plumbing? Mamma mia! I'm just like...
While Chris Pratt, you know, does that whole Brooklyn accent thing with Mario, you know, that commercial right there, I think was meant to be a nod towards, you know, Charles Martinet's portrayal, and they do acknowledge the whole stereotypical Italian accent thing.
Yeah,
like it's all just for show.
Yeah. Now we're gonna be spoiling a whole lot because, you know, the movie's been out for quite a while. So yeah, this is a spoiler review. We're gonna be revealing. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, stop this video right now and go check it out. It's actually a really good movie. So but putting this out, for example, so the movie opens up with that with Bowser and that commercial, and they make so many references are made literally in the first few minutes. Like,
yeah, I mean, let's try not to drag that part up. But you know, there's like a bunch of Easter eggs.
The one of the most iconic. Well, you know that Charles Martinet cameo? It's literally in the first minute because after Mario's just like, hey, yeah, the Italian voice, isn't that too much? Like, too much? It's perfect.
Okay.
Woohoo!
I missed that part, but I also know that.
What do you mean you missed that? You were watching the movie with me.
I think it's because you were talking to me.
Oh.
But yeah, so
because I was
that's not the only character Martinet voiced in the movie. He was also Mario and Luigi's
father, yeah, in the movie. Oh yeah, we'll get to that. Let me get to that a little bit. So the movie starts off with the Mario Brothers in a pizzeria, the Punch Out Pizzeria. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, there's a lot of Nintendo references everywhere. Actually,
again, let's not go
too deep into it. I'll try my best to not go too deep. But like, for example, to make someone online made this saying that it's a canon thing. In the Punch-Out video game, after Little Mac retires, he says that he would going to make his own pizzeria called the Punch-Out Pizzeria. So that's actually kind of interesting. So the movie starts out with Mario Brothers, you know, they're meeting the guy, you know, Charles Martinet's cameo, and then we get Spike, who I'm surprised, I don't know who that actor is, but he did an interview, like, talking that he was in the Mario movie. Spike, who was, of course, one of the main characters of Wrecking Crew, the NES game, comes in and tells them, you know, kind of like the cliche story of, like, you're down here, Mario, and I'm up here. You're never going to make a living for yourself, and you're basically doing, like, all these whatever things, you know, just trying to drag him down. And then we kind of get some, when we see the Mario Brothers going to their first job, oh, yeah, Luigi has a smartphone, funny enough. You know, we see them going to their first job, and already Mario has like weird ass skills that he would have in the video game. There's a lot more.
There's a great moment where it's done in a side-scrolling perspective as Mario does all these acrobatics while Luigi is barely catching up.
Yeah.
I think that was really a nice indication as to who they are.
Yeah, and then of course they go to their first job, and so a lot of references. We see Mario going to their first job.
We have this great moment where it's told in a side-scrolling perspective, like the 2D games. We see Mario achieving all these tasks while Luigi is barely catching up. I thought that was a nice visual indication as to who the two are.
And there were a lot of references for when they went to the house. Like I can name them all.
I saw the Duck Hunt dog painting.
Yeah, the Duck Hunt dog painting. There's a lot of other ones too. And so they go to the first plumbing job, and unlike a lot of adaptations, the Mario Brothers are actually competent of actually doing plumbing jobs. You know, they can do the job, except they run into the dog, which
Francis.
Like the dog is completely like out of character. Like, no, I'm sorry, it's like a very out of nowhere random dog. A lot of people say he looks like a meaner version of Doug from Up, like from Up, and is like this dog is just like they want the Mario Brothers. It's like they do these cool things. There's a lot of sound effects from the Mario Brothers video games there too. Of course, they end up draining the house and stuff, and yeah. There's actually a moment where one of the people, when they're catching the dog down, like outside, you can see the couple reading books, and one of them was reading a Nintendo Power, strategy guide. Like, yeah, there's a lot of references, like I said, not to go too much into it. And now we get to this is the main meat of the movie that is now finally canon into the world. The Mario Brothers go home, and I'm just like, oh, so is it going to be like, the live action movie where they just go home to the random home and they're living with each other, just a TV in there? No! The Mario Brothers have a family! Like, the Mario Brothers have a family, and they're still alive. I was shocked. I'm just like, how old is Mario in this version?
I'm assuming he's maybe in like his
20s, his early 20s and stuff. Like he's still living with his. But to be fair, I'm not gonna criticize people because in a way, different kind of cultures still live with their family members. Some of them live together. Some of them live separately, to married or not. I no judge for it all. But yeah, the Mario Brothers come in, and they of course have this very. I'm not going to say stereotypical family because I don't know if any of the voices of the family members are actually voiced by Italians. Not sure. I could be wrong. But yeah, we have Charles Martinet as Mario's father and other cast members who I'm sorry I don't know any of the names of. They kind of talk to the Mario Brothers, and I love how they it's not forced upon, but they make fun of hey, what's with the gloves? I'm just like, oh, it's just iconic. First time you ever see Mario without gloves,
Oh, yeah. I could never get used to that image, Mario without gloves.
Yeah, and another thing, funny enough, we technically saw Mario without gloves in Super Mario Odyssey, to be fair.
Oh yeah, the swim trunks.
Yeah.
Right? Oh,
Mario has a belly button.
No, he has nipples.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing, so the thing about it, actually, this almost feels like a smart joke that Shigeru Miyamoto must have saw the Sonic movie, saw that Sonic was kind of making a stab at Mario, going like, I hate mushrooms. In the first movie.
I find that pretty amusing, where Mario, our main hero, hates eating mushrooms.
Yeah, even he...
Actually, now both Sonic and Mario's movie counterparts have one thing in common.
They both hate mushrooms.
Yeah.
I feel like Shigeru Miyamoto put that in there. I'm just like, oh, you're trying to take a stab at us? Well, guess what? Mario doesn't like mushrooms either, so guess what? To Sonic. I'm just like, it felt like a stabbing joke at the stab to another joke, stuff.
I doubt it.
I just love how it was like, oh, mushrooms. I don't know why you don't like mushrooms, Mario. And just and then once again, Charles Martinet. I'm surprised that Charles Martinet is telling his character that he's been telling so long. It was like, Mario, can't you just find a job that, doesn't take your down, your bro? I understand with the father figure, he's just supposed to be the down, depressing father who's basically wants his son to have a real career. But the fact that he had to say, you're taking your brother down with you, and it's like, thanks, Dad. And then he walks away. We see him, and we see Mario's room, who, yeah, like, you start to wonder, like, I mean, I understand. I love how Shigeru Miyamoto's acknowledging the retro community and stuff. You know, that is not, for example, the room that Mario has doesn't feel like a room of an old person. That feels like a room from a person who basically lived in the 80s. I mean, there's a lot of references to old movies in the background. Oh, yeah, and Mario's playing...
He's playing Kid Icarus.
A Nintendo. He's playing Nintendo. I feel like the world would have imploded if that was a thing. Like, it was just like, but it would have been really funny if he actually was playing Super Mario Brothers or Mario Brothers, the video game.
No, I think that would have been way too on the nose.
Oh yeah, the fact that he was playing Kid Icarus, I'm just like, oh, I guess we're never gonna have a Kid Icarus crossover from this. Like,
not everything needs a crossover, mate.
I'm just like, yeah, but like, or a Kid, because, you know, come on, do you not think they're not gonna make a Nintendo Cinematic Universe and make Super Smash Brothers a reality?
I'd rather they didn't. Not everything needs to be a cinematic universe. Just let them be their own thing.
I get it, but at the same time, wouldn't a Super Smash Brothers movie be so cool? Like, that would have been awesome. Like, but who knows? Nintendo's are still going to be making movies right now because, you know, Mario Brothers is now a success at this point. Mm-hmm. A giant success. So he's playing in his room, playing video games, you know, and stuff, and, you know, he loses at Kid Icarus. And, of course, his brother Luigi comes in, comforts him, and, you know, basically telling them he still cares about him as a brother. And then they're watching TV, and, of course, the news says underground plumbing and stuff. Oh, and Paulina makes a cameo. Pauline. So Pauline exists in the, it's different from the video game because Pauline was always part of the Mario canon and knew who Donkey Kong was, but I guess it's different in this world. She's part of the real world instead of the fake world. Now, I guess that's just the reference at this point. And so the Mario Brothers, without anyone's knowledge, goes and tries to, you know, save by going into the underground plumbing. Like I said, a lot of callbacks from the live action movie. Yeah. Because they fix underground plumbing in the original movie too. And then not only that, Mario goes into the portal.
Well, isn't that what they also did in the Mario Brothers arcade game?
In the Mario Brothers arcade game? Kind of, yeah, in a sense, yeah. But then it even gets more crazy. Like, Luigi, like in both movies, is the first one to go in. And then Mario goes in, and they're going into this crazy portal world. Well, of course, it's the green...
the green pipe,
you know, and stuff. But like they're going into the world, I'm just like, there's a lot of callbacks to the live action movie when you really think about it. Like a lot, like they're going into the world, but of course they get separated. Unlike the live action, they're together, but in this one they're separated in the adventure.
Yeah. So one thing to note is that Princess Peach is not the damsel in distress like she usually is. Instead, it's Luigi. And, you know, it might seem disappointing.
We're going to get to that one. Like, I want to make a talk about that, about Luigi. We'll get to Luigi.
No, but I'll say this, you know, Mario and Luigi spend most of the movie apart, but at the very least, the movie sets up their relationship nicely, and it gives their separation some emotional stakes.
True, but for a movie called the Super Mario Brothers movie... Luigi is barely, not even a joke, Luigi barely gets any screen time in the entire film. Mm-hmm. Even, I remember when I was in the theater, even the kid in the front row, who was in the front row of me because I was in the back, even he was saying like, wow, Luigi got the shaft. I'm just like, Luigi got the shaft in the most of this movie. I was like, for a Super Mario, it's more of the, I mean, to be fair, there were working titles for this movie. From what I understand, the working titles were Mario Movie or Super Mario World 1-1. Yeah, that was one of the working titles of that movie.
That would have been dumb.
Yeah, the World 1-1. I'm just like, so yeah. So of course, we get, so then of course Mario, we see him where he is. It's, like I said, it's like the same as the trailer. Here's the thing. The one thing I think I love about this movie is that there's nothing that's left out from the original trailer. You know how most movies, when they release the trailer, the movies are not even finished yet, and most of what you see in the trailers usually are not in the final film? Well, in this movie, They're all in the final film. I'm just like, wow, trailers that actually have scenes from the movie? Huh, who would have known? I feel like Shigeru Miyamoto was really putting on perfection. Like, he didn't want to leave anything out. Maybe little things were left out in the trailer, but every single line, almost every single line, and all the things that were happening in the movie were in the trailers and now in the movie. Because usually you don't see that. Shigeru Miyamoto, you're a perfectionist. That's what you do. So then we get, of course, introduced to King Michael Keaton as Toad, and I guess he's supposed to be doing like a voice just like the one from the Super Show. I don't know if you've heard of Toad from the Super Show. Did you hear his voice?
I barely remember.
Yeah, like Toad in the Super Show like was really like, how do I say, annoying, really annoying. But King Michael Keaton tries to do a very similar voice, but tries to sound not as annoying. It was a very decent, take on it. We see the world, and like I said, we see how the world of the Mushroom Kingdom works. All the toads basically get money from POW blocks. You know, the currency is like POW block and stuff.
Oh yeah, that they somehow managed to incorporate power-ups into this. And the blocks, and still have it like. And still.
Also, if you look in the background, there's this scene where a toad is talking to a toad in a flea market. Like, how does this work? Well, you just blow on it. The toad was holding an NES cartridge. Like that's what it means by you just blow on it. I was like, okay. And then of course we have the incredible score by Mark Kirko. I think that's what it is.
Brian Tyler.
Brian Tyler?
Yeah, he's the composer of the movie.
Oh, I'm thinking about Donkey Kong Rap. We're gonna get to that one later. So
Brian Tyler.
Brian Tyler does this incredible, and I mean incredible movie score of all the Mario music that we've loved.
Yeah, he basically adapted a lot of Koji Kondo's iconic themes into the movie.
Like this movie score is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, on a music factor, it puts the Sonic movies to shame. I mean, the Sonic movies only reference Green Hill Zone once.
Yeah, and the Emerald Hill Zone, kind of. But I'm just like, think about it. The score in this movie, I'm just like, I want to buy the soundtrack to this movie now because of how great it is. I could play this in the car all day. When we get to, like I said, we see Mario having issues because, like I said, it's his first time in the Mushroom Kingdom. He's going through pipes. He's getting lost. That was funny. It's the scene where he just kept getting lost. Everyone in the audience was laughing at that scene. Mm-hmm. He finally goes up, and also they make a reference to clear pipes, which usually wasn't a reference to the Super Mario 3D World. So I'm surprised they made that a recent reference, and stuff.
Well, here's the thing. The Mario movie has
reference to every single video game.
They have 40 years of material to work with. The live action movie only had a decade's worth of material.
Yeah, for example, I think this was all that was. No, I think the live action movie had to go off these. These are the original Mario cards. The original Mario Brothers, Mario Brothers 2, and this is a custom version of Mario Brothers 3 that I made. They basically had...
Oh, and maybe a bit of Super Mario Land as well, because that's the game that introduced us to
Princess Daisy, yeah.
And she was Luigi's love interest in that movie.
In that movie, yeah. And it's kind of Super Mario World. No, but Super Mario World just came out, so I don't think they had time to reference. But when you really think about it, I can kind of understand why they made most of the recent games rather than the original NES games. I mean, there's nothing much to go by with the original NES games. It's not that there's nothing to go by, but when you have to make a movie script for these, it's going to take a lot more time and effort just to do so, which I understand the struggle back then. But with this, it's 2023, and they had so much material they can go off of with all the power-ups, the characters, everything and stuff. That's just the thing. They had so much to work with, so no wonder the movie turned out the way it is. So Mario tries to go in the castle. There's guards, and of course they make the funny reference of, no joke, our princess is in another castle.
Yeah, maybe that one was a little too on the nose.
Yeah, but it was still. I loved it funny, but I'm surprised they didn't make a middle finger joke. Like,
Oh yeah, because due to the limited number of pixels.
because guess what? When you're playing the original Mario Brothers, when you meet Toad, he's basically doing this.
He's flipping you off.
He's just like,
Now,
thank you, Mario.
Put those down.
It's like,
or you'll get demonetized.
I thought it was mostly the words, not really. So I was like, thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle. Screw you. It's like, wow. Like, I was like, yeah, that's basically what Toad is doing in the games. Oh man, it was so. But so yeah. Also, that's actually another thing. Princess Peach has guards, like legit security. Like, she buffed up the security. There's also Mario tries to get into the castle and she still has guards inside. Huh.
Already a step up from the games.
Yeah, like already like, security and stuff. Well, but until we get to the council. And then of course we get to meet Princess Peach, played by Anya Taylor-Johnson. Joy. She's from Game of Thrones, right?
No, I know her from Last Night in Soho.
Oh.
And I think she was in this other movie called Emma.
I don't know. I don't know her filmography. I apologize for all the fans of hers. But yeah, we get to there, and we get to mostly most of the Toads, who are basically just. A lot of people say they were going to be like the minions of this movie, but here's the difference: they aren't annoying. Like, they are just trying to be funny. They're like, look at us, we're adorable. I'm just like, as Bow, and like also. Princess Peach being an authority figure, that's a new one. Like I said, I feel like they're kind of going for this like kind of tough, tough female figure, kind of like that they've been doing recently.
She's a leader who actually does something.
Yeah, compared to the game. And one thing, so when Mario and Princess Peach finally meet, surprisingly, it's not a love interest type of thing.
I mean,
they just meet each other.
there was some ship teasing, but that's the extent of it.
Yeah, but when they meet each other, they look at each other's eyes. You're gonna be like, oh, of course, falling in love at first sight. But no, it's more like, hey, I need to talk to you. And then she ends up doing the Super Smash Brother move on Mario, like she does like in the games. And she flips him. I'm just like, hey, my name is Mario. And they kind of like, I like that they're interacting as friends first, and like not as just a like, hey, he doesn't have like, oh, how are you, Princess? No, it's more of like, hey, how are you, Princess Peach? Look, I need your help. I need you to help me save my brother and stuff. Like, basically, and then Princess Peach is like, do you want to save your brother? He's like, yes, I need to. And then so we get this kind of Super Mario 64 reference where the music is going up and we get to see Mario go into an obstacle course.
We have this great scene that is pretty much a nod towards Mario's platforming roots.
Yeah, and of course he takes several tries compared to he fails miserably a lot in this, and it's basically an 80s montage, that kind of stuff that goes by very quickly, surprisingly, compared to 80s montages.
Oh yeah, and of course that they decided to play "Holding Out for a Hero" for some reason.
This movie is covered in a lot of 80s songs, but
a bunch of popular songs that we've all heard.
I mean, but this is Illumination. They've been known to do that, so I was just like, that's only...
Okay, like, it didn't bother me too much, but I can understand the complaints, because we have a lot of memorable and iconic themes in the Mario series, yet... Yeah,
you have to put a pop song in there.
Yeah, you put in "Holding Out for a Hero" or "Take on Me" or whatever that song was from Kill Bill that played in the very first scene.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to in a sense because of the factor that Illumination has been known for just putting a lot of pop culture references in their movies.
But when it comes to like putting licensed music. I mean, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I mean, like I said, we have a lot of iconic...
Like I said, maybe it's a reference to the 80s, maybe like, I mean, it is 80s songs, to be fair, that they're putting out, It's not like any modern song nowadays.
It's like they don't want to rely too much on, memorable and iconic themes from the games.
I would have not been shocked if, like, when they were playing... if the chain chop scenes, if like Mario ran into a chain chop and they played Wrecking Ball there, I would have been like, wow.
Why?
Like, yeah, like that would have been really crazy. But like I said, it's just iconic '80s theme songs. Like, you know,
that we've heard so many times.
true, but they are still very good songs anyway. So we get to the point that, you know, after that, and then Mario and Princess Peach get a connection with each other. I'm just like, so how was your first time? Like, did you struggle? Well, yeah, it took me a few tries. It was her first try.
It was her first try.
It was her first try. Basically, like, wow, she must have been awesome. Like, that's kind of how awesome Princess Peach is in this movie. Like, she's not the damsel in distress, like I said, like in the video games. Which, to be fair, I'm guessing Shigeru Miyamoto knew this, and it's just like, okay, I want to. Even actually, in a recent interview, he did say that he wanted to grow Princess Peach in this movie much more than she does in the video games, which I'm so glad that he decided to do. And then, of course, we see Mario, Princess Peach, and Toad traveling to, you know, the Donkey Kong Kingdom. Oh, but before they transport themselves, there's just like, we need to go, and we're going to go to, like, you know, the Kong Kingdom to, you know, team up with them. And then they're just like, who's that guy?
He's no one.
He's no one. No, not important at the moment.
Oh.
Like, he's no one that's not important at the moment. Oh, yay! So yeah, they kind of leave, and then of course we enter the Kong Kingdom, which a lot of people say. So here's the thing about that "Take on Me" scene. Originally, there was actually a score for this scene that was very like the Donkey Kong Country score.
It's available to listen to on the soundtrack, if I'm correct.
Yeah, but they decided to just change it all of a sudden. I'm actually wondering if anyone edited that in to see how it would have played.
Well, we need clean footage first.
Yeah, of course.
And not that horrible, low quality, shaky camera.
It hasn't come out on Blu-ray yet, for one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how the Blu-ray is going to go. And also, let's talk about when the Blu-ray release comes out of a particular name of a person that needs credit. You know, we're going to get to that one. So then, of course, we see, of course, the king being Cranky Kong, which a lot of people say they hate his voice, but I don't know. Nothing that annoyed me.
He didn't quite sound old or cranky enough.
Yeah, I guess.
Like he's much more chill rather than cranky.
Kind of, yeah, and also they definitely designed him differently than most of the video games. I mean, he's just sitting down in a chair, and he's just like he's an old man and stuff. But he's still an awesome character, of course. He is technically the original Donkey Kong. That's a thing that people don't get or possibly don't remember, but Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong from 1981. While Donkey Kong 81, while Donkey Kong Jr. is now the current Donkey Kong. I was like, is now the current Donkey Kong. That's literally how it went. I was like, people just need to know that. So then, of course, we kind of get, of course, a Super Smash Brothers reference. I mean, Mario fighting Donkey Kong. Where have I seen that before? I was like, and also, it's kind of funny to think that now Mario and Donkey Kong are part of the same universe, basically, in their world. I understand that it started that way, but there was never confirmation that their world was like together and stuff.
Also, remember, Donkey Kong has been in the Mario Kart games too.
True, yeah, the Mario Kart game. So we get to Donkey Kong, voiced by
Seth
Rogen. And then he opens up with the DK rap, but kind of like a a pause glitch of the DK rap. It doesn't go through all of the characters. It just says DK, Donkey Kong, DK, Donkey Kong. And it's like, yeah, he's DK, I'm Donkey Kong. I'm just like, yeah, and of course he kind of has relationship with his father, of course. Wait, so Cranky Kong is Donkey Kong's father? I thought he was his grandpa or something. Like,
I didn't quite.
Yes, like, and then of course, then we get more references to the Donkey Kong franchise, like, you know, okay, everyone stop. That means you, Diddy Kong. DK. Sorry, it's like I saw Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, and I forget the character who was in the third game. Like that. That's who the reference was.
Hold on. Oh.
Not Funky Kong.
No, not Funky Kong.
It's the character from the third game, basically, the third Donkey Kong Country game.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like, I don't remember his name. I apologize to all the Donkey Kong fans, but I've only played the first two Donkey Kong Country games. I know everyone's telling me to play the third one because people love the third one. I was like, but I'll get to it, like, eventually. But yeah, so we see Mario and Donkey Kong. fighting for the first time. Okay, that line was removed. Like, all right, let's go. You know that kind of thing. So Mario, of course,
and Donkey Kong actually says it's on like Donkey Kong.
that's kind of awesome.
Of course.
That's awesome. But the way Seth Rogen did it was pretty awesome. And then, of course, Mario's getting his ass kicked, and everything. And, of course, we get more Mario references, like the mini mushroom, and he turns small. And, of course, Seth Rogen with his iconic laugh. And it's like, I knew that he was going to do that stupid laugh in the movie. But, it's a meme laugh, but what do you expect?
I haven't seen him in enough movies to...
Yeah, watch a lot of Seth Rogen movies, and then you'll see him go all the time. That's his iconic laugh and his meme laugh, and stuff. But yeah, we see that, of course, Mario is struggling even after practicing for so while. I'm surprised he's getting his ass kicked. But he is fighting an ape, so understand.
He's fighting a big gorilla.
So yeah, but then of course he gets the power-ups, and he gets the cat power-up, which was in Super Mario 3D World, so that's, yeah. Mm-hmm. I was like, and everyone's laughing, like, he got the cat box, and of course we get another meme that was in the trailers, like, you got the cat box! I'm sorry. Okay, now you die. Like, I remember people memeing that all crazy on Twitter, like...
Yeah. With the cat suit, Mario triumphs over Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It's not even the very powerful suit, so I'm just like...
No, but it made him a lot more agile.
Yeah, so eventually, of course, Mario beats Donkey Kong, which, of course, Donkey Kong gets upset for because it disappointed his father and stuff, And then, of course, we see kind of like the similarities between Mario and Donkey Kong. They have daddy issues, basically.
And they're, basically underestimated.
Yeah, so then of course we get to the Mario Kart reference.
Wait, shouldn't we talk about Bowser?
Oh yes, let's talk about Jack Black as Bowser. So Luigi's in Bowser's world, and Luigi's holding a flashlight, moving around in dark trees. I wonder what that's a reference to, And then, of course, we get to Luigi's first encounter, Dry Bones. Now, everyone knows the Dry Bones. They have cute plushies. They, are little, aw, you basically hit them once and they fall on the ground and they go back up again. They're, cute little things. In this movie, they're terrifying. They make Dry Bones so terrifying with their red eyes and, their lack of, they're zombies and shit. I'm just like, oh, God. Oh, yeah. Oh, and interesting thing we find about Dry Bones. Dry Bones are just Koopas that are dead. So, in canon...
was that not obvious?
So, in canon, Koopas are immortal, basically. They're immortal beings. So, even if they remove their skin, they can still, be alive. Well, they can't talk anymore. That's the only difference. So, yeah, it's... we'll get to him later. Yeah, so we get to Luigi getting captured, of course, by Bowser and his minions, and of course he's going to destroy the Mushroom Kingdom after getting the Power Star, and...
actually, that's more like...
Plan B.
He's blackmailing Peach into marrying him.
Yes, and let's get to Jack Black as Bowser. Icon. Everyone says it. Everyone's been saying it. Jack Black should be the new official voice of Bowser. Yeah. Because he just steals the show.
He managed to balance out the more menacing parts with his more comedic parts.
To be fair, he does play a menacing villain. The fact that he's just like, open the gates. I'm just like, I do not.
Yeah,
I'm just like, we don't usually see Jack Black play villains, not all the time. He usually plays the hero, but this is the first time where he's such an intimidating but also funny-ass villain, man.
Yeah, and of course we get a big musical number singing about how much he loves Peach.
Don't sing it, please. I had that song in my head every night. It's just like, Peaches, Peaches. It's like peaches, 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 peaches.
There is one thing I'll say. You know, Jack Black disappears into the role completely as Bowser.
Yeah.
Except when he sings. That's when he goes into like Tenacious D mode or something.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's been known for School of Rock and a lot of things, you know, so it's obvious that he would do that. But, oh, and also for some odd reason, people want this to be an Oscar-nominated movie for that song. I'm just like...
Well, I mean, it was written for the movie.
Yeah, but I'm just like, Jack Black's song's not going to be in the Oscars. I'm just like, not happening. It's like, it would be funny, but like, yeah, that's not going to happen. The Oscars would know better, I guess. But still, it's a funny song. But the fact that he's never met Peach before and he just knows her by visual is just like, man, he instantly fell in love, like a giant lizard who basically like falls in love with this princess, a human. You know, that's kind of nuts, you know. But yeah, and then of course we get Kamek, who's voiced by
Kevin Michael Richardson.
Ooh!
Oh, well, we have an actual veteran voice actor in the movie.
And he does a great job as Kamek too.
And the thing is, I'm so used to Richardson's, you know, usual deep voice, you know, like when he's Drek from Ratchet and Clank or Sheriff Blobs from Gravity Falls.
Yeah, but he mostly does kind of like a whole, like, behold, the king of the Koopas.
The king of the Koopas.
Also, you know who Eric Benesiak is?
Who?
Eric Benesiak. He's basically the current voice of Bugs Bunny now.
Eric Bauza.
Eric Bauza?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric Bauza is like the current voice of, Bugs Bunny now. Sorry if I mispronounced his name, but he actually made a cameo playing one of the Koopas in the beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. You know, the Koopa that goes, like, you know, like, yeah, that was him. Like, yeah, he made, a lot of cameos from a lot of veteran voice actors. But yeah, we get to, like I said, Bowser steals the show. Jack Black is just so funny as his character. He should be the official voice of Bowser at this point.
Yeah, Jack Black is a national treasure.
National treasure of every single way. He will never basically be unfunny. Unless he's given an unfunny script, obviously. But yeah, we see him arrest Luigi, intimidate him. But of course, Luigi being the strong brother that he is, he ain't giving away Mario's location. He tells him exactly where he left him off, but not really where he is or anything like that. You know, not knowing the skills or something like that. And of course, is your brother a playboy, you know, because he had to say that because, you know, Bowser's keeping watch of both Peach and Mario. You know, he's worried that Mario might steal Princess Peach, even though, surprisingly in the movie, they're just common friends, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you know, that Bowser is a very insecure character in this one.
Yeah, and so we get to the Mario Kart thing, and like, yeah.
Oh, let me tell you, out of all the scenes in the movie, the Mario Kart sequence left me grinning with excitement.
Yeah, when you see the scene where, you know, you're changing your vehicle and how you want the vehicle to look like, referencing the recent video game.
But I'm talking about the actual chase.
Rainbow Road, basically, the Rainbow Road chase. I'm just like, that's the first level. That's like the first level they go to. Out of all the crazy roads they could have gone to, they had to choose Rainbow Road. I mean, I kind of get it at the same time, and of course, Chris Pratt does the iconic woohoo. You know, he does it really well. You know, so then it basically is Mad Max Fury Road times a billion.
Mario Kart Fury Road.
Yep. Step aside, Mad Max. You're no longer the best, you know, like, chase movie in the world. Now Super Mario Brothers has that, you know.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
It's animated, so they had more to do, you know. I mean, wasn't it freaking cool to see a blue shell get attacking Mario and Donkey Kong? Wasn't it cool seeing bombs and turtle shells and bananas, like, going crazy in Rainbow Road? People falling off, explosions and shit. Come on. So much you can do, and Mario flipping between cars and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, what is your favorite moments in that scene?
Just all of it. All of it. Just the utter chaos and the stunts.
So you admit it. After the crazy Mario Kart chase, which basically ended with
the blue
shell, basically. I don't know if any regular audience member is going to get that reference, though.
Because, I think this would be the best time to bring up Like, if you're like a hardcore or at least a casual Mario fan,
If you're like the biggest Mario fan on the planet, you're gonna love this movie.
at least notice how much love there was towards the games.
So much.
I don't know how the uninitiated would feel.
Yeah, they're not gonna get a lot of things that happen in this movie, which I totally get. But yeah.
So I think it's important that when you're adapting something that you try. While it's nice to, satisfy fans, you gotta draw in the uninitiated too. You gotta have a solid narrative to go along with it.
It had a basic narrative, this movie, but yeah, let's get to so basically most of the Kongs, Princess Peach and everyone else gets captured, except for Mario and Donkey Kong, who got swallowed by, I think, Big Bertha.
No, it was...
or generic whale?
No, I think it was that giant eel from Super Mario 64.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, I think, yeah, maybe. That giant eel from Super Mario 64. And then, of course, Mario and Donkey Kong are having a moment, talking about their dads, talking about trying to, be there. And there's also kind of this, in the middle of Luigi getting captured, he remembers this one moment and we see the baby Mario and baby Luigi makes reference in this movie.
Oh, I was just reminded, in anytime we cut back to Luigi being in prison, there's that one Luma who has such a morbid sense of humor.
We cannot escape. All we know is death.
Yes, something like that. I know we said Bowser was a show stealer, but so was that Luma.
Yeah, I don't know who the voice of the Luma is. I don't think it's in the credits or something like that.
Hang on, a quick search.
Yeah, let me just get to it. So here's the thing: a lot of people were wondering, okay, Luma's from Super Mario Galaxy, but what is it referencing to? Was there a Luma? Well, to be fair, not even though I haven't remember playing the first game a long time ago or even a while. I haven't played the game since the 3D All-Star Collection, but I do remember going into this one area in the game.
A relatively new actor.
Oh, I remember going into a part of this game where there was this Luma who was in this dark area of the game, and the Luma felt depressed, and it's just we are trapped here. Oh, great. Now I'm sad. I'm hoping we can see light again. Basically, I think that's what the reference is. It's referencing this very depressing Luma that was in one of the games. I don't know. But I'm surprised Super Mario Galaxy is referencing it all. I thought Mario Galaxy would be later down the line, but I guess not. Man, but yeah, this Luma also steals the show in every single moment that I think it's a she or a he. I don't know. Yeah, the Lumas, I guess, don't have genders here. It's yeah, but then that Luma just every single moment I'm just think about feeding in the bones of your whole hellhole. I was no.
Yeah, that Luma makes a lot of morbid statements.
Yeah, it's just stop talking. You're depressing us more and giving our freedom nothing worth.
Yeah.
I was I don't know why. No, I wonder why they never made a reference to. Well, yeah, shut up! The Luma. Like I said, that Luma was so funny. Mm-hmm. Wait till we get to the ending. And then so... We see Bowser basically trying to practice proposing to Princess Peach and stuff,
what if she says no? Yeah. Straight up kills that Koopa.
Well, not kill, just take its skin away. And it's a dry bones. But no, I'm talking about that he has the banquet of piranha plants and stuff, and everything, and munching.
A bouquet.
A bouquet of piranha plants, and they're munching. I don't know if this movie was in 3D because that felt like a 3D shot and stuff. That kind of thing. It's just how it is. The reference. But of course, Kamek is wearing the Princess Peach outfit. Like I said, I feel like they have a weird friendship going on. I don't know, but it's still a very fun friendship. I love how Bowser just in the video games interacts with his crew members and stuff. Because that's how he usually is. Even though he sends them out to death out there in the world, he still considers all of his Koopas, Koopa Troopas, Goombas, and whatever those things are out to the world to die for their freedom. That's the great thing about That's the great thing about the movie and stuff. So we get to the, Mario and Donkey Kong somehow escape using one of the blast barrels of the car to escape and get and get to power up just to go save, Princess Peach. But of course, Princess Peach doesn't need saving. It's Luigi who needs saving. Because Princess Peach, she gets towed
to smuggle in an ice flower.
An ice flower bouquet. And then, of course, they're in the marriage, and stuff. And Bowser's prepared and just like, will you be my bride? No. And then, she gets the freaking ice power up and she freaking freezes everyone. Oh, and there's King Boo. There's King Babam, all the villains, which, of course, hopefully we're seeing. She basically destroys the party and stuff, and then, of course, eventually Bowser is going to destroy the Mushroom Kingdom with a giant bullet bill. I know there's a specific name for the bullet bill.
Bonsai bill?
Bonsai bill. A bonsai bill, and, of course, and here's the thing. I didn't know that Bonsai Bill actually had, I know it had a face, but I thought it was drawn that way. But we discover later when Mario comes in with the raccoon power-up, he pokes its eye, basically, and I'm just like, oh, I thought that was drawn on. I didn't know that a Bullet Bill or Bonsai Bill had feelings. So they basically are living creatures before they die. So then the Bonsai Bill, basically, Mario pokes its eye, and then, it's going into, Bowser's Kingdom, getting destroyed and everything. But no. In the scene, they go into the real world. The Bonsai Bill, he puts it into the pipe, the green pipe where Mario and Luigi came from, and it explodes, sucking everyone into the real world. I'm just like...
And, of course, causes property damage over in Brooklyn.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, of course, Bowser, in his final words, I'm just like, even I can't take over, I will destroy you, basically. So
that's Bowser at his most
menacing. So we don't have the iconic fight with Bowser in the Mushroom Kingdom or the fantasy world. We have it in the real world, which was in the live-action movie, weirdly enough.
Oh my gosh, we're getting a lot of reminders of the live-action movie.
Yeah, it's like, monkey!
Papa!
Well,
monkey!
Papa! And then I'm surprised he didn't reference any of those lines. I'm surprised, so...
we don't need any more reminders.
And of course, we have the emotional third act where Mario is completely helpless, trying to becoming the hero. But then he sees, destroyed a little bit of the commercial that he's made with his brother, showing that he is the protector of not only Brooklyn but the Mushroom Kingdom because he's family. He wants to protect family and stuff. So he goes out there and he tries to face Bowser on his own, and then Bowser tries to throw fire at him, but then Luigi comes out of nowhere and saves the day.
Shields him with those lids for the sewers, which was actually a callback to an earlier scene where Luigi was holding a round mirror when they were up against Francis the dog.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch.
And of course, they grab each other's, and they're the Super Mario Brothers.
They absorb that Power Star. Basically,
the Power Star that Bowser gets, he takes out, but then he drops, and then eventually they run into the Power Star, and now they're Power Star Super Mario Brothers, basically. And they have the iconic epic version of
the invincibility theme.
Yeah, the invincibility theme. And of course, though, funny enough, it's not like, the old games. So this started with, I think, Super Mario Galaxy. No, this started with Super Mario Galaxy, where now every time Mario or Luigi has the invincibility theme, they have to hold their hands like this when they're running. Like, that's what they like. They're like angels or something like that. They're like almost like a T-pose, like the video game T-poses or something like that.
Or airplane arms.
Airplane arms. Basically, they're rushing in, they're destroying all the villains and the bad guys, and of course they're doing the iconic jump, of the games, only to get eaten by a piranha plant out of nowhere, and then, escape it, and then they're kicking Bowser's butt, which, I forget, did Mario grab his tail and spin him around? Or something?
I don't think so.
In the scene, but of course they do one iconic Super Smash Brothers uppercut on both Bowser, both the Mario Brothers, and they beat him. And then, of course, Princess Peach forces him to have the little mushroom, which shrinks him down in size.
Yeah, and imprisons him.
Imprisons him forever, and that's just how it is. And the world is saved, and the Mario Brothers are now considered.
Also, I love that little moment where Francis the dog reappears and just looks at them with respect.
Like, yeah. Yeah, even though they don't know what they did. Now I think this is the point of the movie where we should kind of talk about it. This movie, for how I think awesome the references are and how good it is, it goes by the motion pretty fast. Like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a 90-minute film, surprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot in 90 minutes.
But I was surprised. Even the ending feels a little rushed too.
Because right after the world is saved, we see Mario and Luigi residing in the Mushroom Kingdom,
and then they go down the pipes, and then the logo splashes on the screen saying the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm just
I will say it does end rather abruptly.
It does have an abrupt ending instead of having like a normal ending. I thought that they were basically going to have an ending where they move away, they say goodbye to their families and their friends, and they move to the Mushroom Kingdom. Oh yeah, and there's a reference to Guardians of the Galaxy where they're playing the song Mr. Blue Sky, basically.
That song is much older than that movie.
Yeah, but I know, but it's clearly a reference to Chris Pratt, because that's the song from the Guardians of the Galaxy, I know it's much older, but yeah, that's what basically the reference is. Yeah, the movie just goes by really fast. But of course, we get Luma again, who's at the end point of the movie.
Making yet another more.
He's just like, now there's nothing but darkness. Well, you know what I like? The trumpet. Basically, it's going through every main theme song of the Mario Brothers movie, and it's just so great. I'm just like, I think I was crying like almost in the inside, or just really, just like, that's Mario Brothers. That's the Mario Brothers I've always wanted to see. Close enough, but still it's Mario Brothers. Of course, just like even in the old movie, wait till the credits are over, because something's happened in the very end of the movie. Yahoo! Well, kind of almost just like anticlimactic in a sense, because
we saw the Yoshis in an earlier scene.
Yeah, we saw the Yoshis in the earlier scene, so I'm just like, I thought Wario was going to appear or something, or Bowser's kids are going to come. I thought that was what they were referring to, but then we see also the Yoshi eggs is in the real world, not in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah.
We see the egg open up, and then we see, I was like, oh, Yoshi's coming.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and I think, that's most of the plot of the movie, and the movie's awesome, the guy.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it again. I'm going to try to see it again. Hopefully it's still in theaters, by the time it happens. But, there's just so many other movies I'm going to be seeing. But to me, this is the Super Mario Brothers movie. This is the movie I've been waiting for years. So many people have been waiting for years to see this movie. Mm-hmm. Though, of course, fans like it, but critics can give two shits about this movie.
Remember, plenty of critics liked it as much as other critics didn't like it.
Yeah, it has like a 53% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Yes, yeah. Half the number of reviews posted on that site.
So here's the thing. Like I said, I don't really care what critics say. I wanted to drive my own opinion on it, but even the comments that they brought into this movie are just completely ridiculous. Like, oh, this movie doesn't compare to Puss in Boots 2, or this doesn't have the deepness of the Pixar movies, or such a basic story, man. Why can't we have something more heartwarming and deep? I'm just like, it's a fucking Mario Brothers movie. I was like, what did you expect?
Yeah. Granted, it's the narrative is basic but functional. But hey, if they went above and beyond, that would have been great too.
That would have been fine, but I'm just like, that's not what the movie was doing. Shigeru Miyamoto, to be fair, has pointed out that he's not a fan of storytelling this much, but he does know how to make a good, decent story, at least a basic story. He's done that for years in his video games. I mean, you know, Legend of Zelda, you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, oh man, if they make a Legend of Zelda movie, that's going to be fucking crazy.
Yeah, you know, given how well the movie turned out, and you know, it's making a lot of money.
It's still number one in the world, basically.
Hopefully, this encourages Nintendo to allow more adaptations of their works.
But we're gonna get the right people to do it. Actually, wouldn't it be awesome if Peter Jackson did the Legend of Zelda movies?
Yeah, well, I mean, if he's familiar with the games and knows the up and up.
Ooh.
And if he's, you know, passionate about it.
Oh, the guy who did Alien, Ridley Scott can do the Metroid movies. That'd be awesome. Yeah, like I said, actually, funny enough, the people who did this movie, directed and wrote the movie, are the same people who did Teen Titans Go, which is shocking to me.
Well, Teen Titans Go to the movies. You know, that one was pretty good.
Yeah, that's a pretty good movie. It's just like, to me, this is the perfect Mario movie for a hardcore fan. Like I said, to me, if you're a hardcore Mario fan, or at least love Mario, if your kid loves Mario, they're gonna love this movie. However, if you're a person who's never seen a Mario film in your life, never played a Mario game in your life, or just know the character just from seeing him in posters and toys, and just seeing him in commercials and stuff, you're fine. Like, I mean, I guess it's an enjoyable little flick. You're not going to get too much out of it. I mean, if you want to have a deep film, then obviously go see other films that are playing now, I guess. But at the same time, it's a nice little movie to see with your kid, a family, to see with their kids, you know, and stuff. There's nothing odd about it. I mean, that's basically my final thoughts so far.
Yeah. You know, I'm glad to see that there's a good amount of momentum when it comes to film and TV adaptations of games.
So,
I will say that this has been a pretty good few.
Can you please? He's trying to finish. No.
These past few years have been great for film and TV adaptations of video games, and I just hope it
continues doing that.
I just hope this continues. You know,
the Sonic movies and this movie are basically bare examples of how to make video game adaptations.
Like in the past few years, and with TV shows, we've gotten like Castlevania, Arcane,
Sonic Prime,
Arcane, and The Last of Us. You know, those are great.
So yeah.
You wanted to bring up something hopefully for the Blu-ray release.
Oh yeah, for the Blu-ray release, I'm hoping that they credit Grant Kirkhope, because they didn't, credit him for the Donkey Kong rap that they put in this movie.
Yeah. But before we saw the movie, I saw Grant Kirkhope's tweet saying that he wasn't credited, and when I read the credits, he was telling the truth. And
yeah,
that's
he should be credited for his songs. I mean, if Koji Kondo is credited for his songs, why not him?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's a corny rap, but still, come on. The man made this,
Of course.
Yeah. So, yeah. This is Roger D. Starr.
And BDeggs.
Signing out. And...